A few thoughts now on Equifax that lost more than 13% of its stock price today because it gave up the confidential data of 143 million Americans, one of the largest cyber attacks in this country's history. Names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, credit card numbers, driver's licenses, all exposed in the breach that was discovered back in July. Yet it took Equifax 6 weeks to disclose the extraordinary security breakdown and the attack on millions and millions of their customers and consumers. The CEO of Equifax did apologize, but not nearly as profoundly or contritely as he should have, in my opinion. Worse, there's no explanation from the company as to how the cyber attack was carried out or by whom. And now we learn 3 of its executives, including the chief financial officer, sold shares of Equifax just days after the breach was first discovered, earning those 3 nearly $2 million. Now, Equifax, it claims those executives were utterly unaware of the breach when they sold the stock. That may be, and it may not be, because I assure you, suggesting that a chief financial officer would not know about a breach of this magnitude, which goes to the heart, the soul, the very integrity of the company, that is asking a lot of all of us to give credence to such a statement. The company, irrespective, should do the right thing, in my opinion, and reverse the sale by those executives of that stock so that there is absolutely no question of integrity, while there are so many questions about the company's lack of security and leadership and its failure to protect the private information of 143 million Americans, which goes to the foundation of the company's existence. But the bad news for consumers doesn't end there. Equifax is only one of 3 major credit reporting firms. Americans who visit Equifax's site to see whether they were affected in this cyber attack and sign up for credit monitoring following the breach are asked to give up their rights to sue the company or to participate in rewards from a class action suit. Now, that is utterly outrageous. It's duplicitous, and it is just a terrible statement to the company's customers. New York's Attorney General, who I almost never agree with, as well as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, calling now on Equifax to remove that arbitration clause. Conveniently, the CFPB's rule banning arbitration clause doesn't go into effect until later this month. And even then, it will only affect agreements entered beginning next year. I believe Equifax is acting with utter ignorance and impunity against the very consumers and customers they have an obligation to protect. I also can't believe the Chamber of Commerce and Business Roundtable aren't calling into account the actions of Equifax executives in setting standards for the conduct of commerce in this country, particularly when it comes to precious personal data entrusted to corporations, and insisting on a higher level of integrity from all businesses entrusted to hold that personal information secure. Both regulators and Equifax customers should, I believe, hold Equifax responsible for its utter failure to protect those customers.